What's up, guys? Welcome to the Gatewatch, the Magic the Gathering podcast brought to you by the Open Mic Show. It's me, Steve Starr. I run this bitch. With me tonight, I have Brando and Greg.
Yo. What up?
Delayed Greg. It's cool.
Delayed
it's cool.
Greg.
Yes, it is. It's delayed Greg. It's alright. It's cool with that. Like I said, when we did our little intro teaser that we were coming back stronger, better than ever, that we were going to do this thing running. So tonight, let's kind of introduce ourselves a little bit. Brando, what brought you into the Magic the Gathering game?
Well, my uncle was playing Magic at the time, and I was playing a different card game, Star Trek CCG, and I was really interested in what he was doing, and kind of went from there.
And so you kind of jumped into a game because somebody else was like, hey, come play this.
Well, it was my uncle, and I wanted to, kind of be cool, because he was older than me. And I wanted to be, doing what the cool kids are doing. It was, the late 90s, or, I guess it was like 96, 97.
So you're saying you started because of peer pressure?
That's what I'm hearing. But Greg, what about you? What brought you to the game?
Well, I was a young and lonely child of about 12. I just recently moved to a new city. Alone on the streets, I walked back and forth to school until one day I found a comic shop called Parrot Station Comics. Out of curiosity, I went in. There were some gentlemen playing a card game. They invited me to join them. Afterwards, he gave me his deck, and I've been playing ever since.
All right, so now I have to ask you, without the sarcasm, is that like the legit story, or are you just fucking around?
It's a legit story, but, with sarcasm and stuff added.
Gotcha. So, when do you think that was?
Like around 96, 97-ish.
Okay, so it sounds like we all really pretty much started playing right around the same time. And from the sounds of it, the only one that's kept it the entire time for the majority or more or less is Brandon.
Because I get in and out of.
I do too. I take long breaks here and there. I don't know. I love the game though. So, Brandon, what's your favorite deck style? What do you build?
I like to play EDH a lot, or back in the day, actually, I remember building an EDH deck. My uncle he introduced me. Back then, it was dragons that you had to use, Elder Dragons, and that's how the name comes about anyway. But Commander's pretty much my favorite format. That's almost exclusively what I play. Here lately, I've been really onto this Vito card.
Well, we'll talk to that here after a while. So what colors do you build when you build your deck?
Oh, I do red and black because I like to do direct damage. I like to take care of threats, pretty fast.
Nice.
So red's usually, yeah.
And Greg?
Red.
What was the question again?
Colors. What what colors do you build your deck?
I make them from all colors, really. But if I actually had to choose one, it'd probably be blue.
You're a blue. Of course. Why am I not surprised that he's a blue player?
You don't remember that? He was owning us with that blue deck when we were first getting on Arena.
If I were to equate it to a chess piece, the blue decks would be like the knights because they move all around in weird patterns. Hard to keep track of.
All right, so I'm going to kind of fill you in on my little background on it too now that we know theirs. So yeah, so more or less same story as Brandon, older sibling, relative played, and I was like, ooh, what's this? The only difference is like the artwork got me. And like you were saying before in another conversation, Brandon, that later on in the game you started picking up on the artwork and noticing that kind of...
Yeah, it was Mirage. It was like my first pre-release that I did, and I was like, wow, this art is dope. And I wanted to have all the lands from Mirage. I remember that.
Yeah, that's something I think we can all definitely agree on. Every now and then they drop a land set that's just like, okay, gotta have those.
Right. I'd say Eldraine was probably the more recent one.
A friend that has done art for Magic the Gathering where they send in art to be rated or whatever to see if they want to have it on cards. He's done like a couple of lands. Like I think it was from the. It came after Exodus set. I know that.
And Brandon, I'm gonna have. I'm sorry. What was that, Greg?
It's probably 15 years ago, though.
Gotcha. But no, Brandon, the most recent set of lands that are notable are the ones from Theros, the Nyx lands. That look like constellations.
The Nyx lands are dope. I did get a bunch of those though. Actually, I run my my Zelda themed deck exclusively using those lands.
Yep, I figured. That's awesome. So I'm trying to think what we have. So you play exclusively Commander, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, generally because that's the play group I'm with. They play Commander, but here lately I've ventured out a bit and built a couple of 60 card decks. One's Modern, and I'd say the other one's really Legacy because it's got some really old cards in there.
Yeah, no, I play Modern mostly. Oh, I didn't talk about my deck colors. I just more or less talked about what got me into it. Now I feel like an asshole. I sit and question you guys like.
Well, why don't you tell us what colors you like to play with, bro?
Thanks, Brandon. That's why I don't ever see. That's why I have a hard time introducing myself on things. Is because nobody cares what I have to say about myself. If you ask me, then I'll actually tell you.
Interviewer.
But this is the first episode, Greg, so they should probably know something about me too.
Right.
Like I said, let's flip the script. Interview the interviewer. So tell us about the decks you play, Jimmy.
I mostly play black and white. I'm a very, very fond of cat decks and token decks.
Johnny, I'm going to guess.
Yes, I do a lot of a Johnny. Mostly I've got quite a few mono white decks that I greatly enjoy playing. I think my absolute favorite deck actually is black green though, and that's my Saverlings.
Yeah, Saverlings are
awesome. So, Brando, what do you think your most memorable match is?
Oh, this one time a couple weeks ago I got this guy. I was playing a 4-player match and got Emrakul out in like turn 6 with using my Urza deck. It was pretty dope. Took old dude's turn, destroyed everybody's board state. I think I ended up getting second place in the game though. I don't think I won.
You don't think you won? Oh.
No, I usually don't play to win. I like to try to undo people's board states. I like to just create chaos. That's generally my tactic.
So you're dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, see, and that surprises me that you're not more of a blue player.
Yeah,
I
really
could do it.
Usually we're the dicks.
You could do it in red. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but red is more crush, fast-paced. I'm gonna punch you in your snout, kind of stuff that just kind of gets going and makes it happen.
Hey, look over here while I punch you in the face with the other hand.
Yeah,
Sunbird's Invocation. I like that card a lot. Especially with my Rakdos deck.
Right, with your Rakdos.
We're
I hate that one. So, notes that come in as the show goes on. So, Greg, what's a memorable match for you?
It was one I not long after I first started, maybe a couple years afterwards. It was from a completely illegal set, the Unglued set, if you remember that. There was a card in it called the BFM. It was actually 2 cards combined into one, and it was a 99/99 creature for like 13 black mana. I got it out second turn by having 2 lands, having a bunch of dark rituals, and a bunch of Kabbalistic rituals. And by the third turn, it was just a 99/99 creature against his nothing.
That's crazy.
That is crazy, but it's plausible, and yeah, that's definitely, like I said, and I can tell you, I don't honestly have anything that I would consider memorable. Like matches that would stick out. Like I said, at one point in time, there was a kid that was judging at a Friday Night Magic and called me out for supposedly having illegal lands that were reprinted in the set that was like literally the most current set. So at the end of the night, I got to be like, ha ha ha, you were wrong. Go back and get your
What kind of
judge's
lands
license
were
again. They were Foul Orchards.
Oh.
So yeah. But yeah, that's what as far as memorable for me. So what's this combo, this Vito that you're talking about earlier? Fill me in.
Oh, Vito and Exquisite Blood. You know all about it. We've been hype about it for like a week.
As soon as I figured out what I could do with that Vito card, I was like, oh my god, I could fucking have an infinite deck. And I play a lot on Arena. So definitely get to see.
I think Vito's good in Standard, but I think it's going to really shine in Commander. I think it's worthy. I really do. Especially with Exquisite Blood, because then you can get the chance to go infinite. And you might even get a chance to do it twice.
Well, you don't have to do it twice. So I do it roughly 6 turns on Arena in the historic category, which is basically modern.
Right.
And like I said, I do it in 6 turns. I'd like to be able to bust it down. I think I need to change out and get a couple more tutors and a couple other things that might speed it up a little bit. But with Arena, it's hard because you don't have the card selection that you have in real life. But it's a little bit easier in the long run, I guess you could say, to actually get cards.
Well, I think you can focus decks better on Arena.
Well, yeah, because you have search terms. So it's like, this is what I'm trying to do. I kind of want to stick tribal. Why do you think my cats, my mono cats, are just like super tribal?
Right.
So, but
yeah,
explain this combo. So for people that
the reason why I say you can do it again and again is only because in a multiplayer format like Commander, like you can only go infinite on one person at a time with Exquisite Blood, because it's basically what it happens is that you have Vito out. Whenever you gain life, you deal that much life. So you gain 1, you'll deal 1. With Exquisite Blood in play, all of a sudden, whenever the target player loses life, you gain life. So that basically runs it into the infinite realm. Thing is, you can only, like in Commander, you can only do it per person until you get like something like Exsanguinate, where you deal, to the whole table, you're dealing X damage, and then gaining that much, and then you can deal that much out again. So I mean, it's just like boom, boom, boom. I think it's going to end up being probably one of the more used commanders out of probably Core 21, I think.
I definitely see it being, honest truth, I see it getting banned before long. Or at least somehow.
I don't think Vito would be banned. I think Exquisite Blood could end up being banned.
Well, no, I think they would ban Vito just because they just reprinted Exquisite Blood, so I would try to avoid. I mean, I guess realistically, Vito just got printed as well, but if you've been waiting for a reprint that makes it legal in another format and will help bring down the cost of the card in the long run with the full-on financing and everything, Exquisite Blood, they'll keep that around just because. It'll help the overall meta of the game, I guess.
Yeah, the price of it will stay up instead of like plunging like something like that Merit Lage land that went.
That Oko from the couple sets,
yeah, that too.
It got banned and the price plummeted.
I was going to say I think another good commander out of that set is probably going to be Subira, Tulzita Caravaner. I don't know how to say that all. That's a mouthful, but She seems to be a good red commander. You can get unblockable power 2 creatures. So you got a bunch of goblins, or you got a bunch of the fuck.
What?
Oh, I heard something. I didn't know what it was.
You didn't hear nothing.
Get a bunch of goblins, or maybe even small elemental fucking decks going like that, and then I think this would be a good commander too. But yeah, I think Vito's going to get the more play out of that set.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. So what all ways do you possibly think that you could make Vito and Exquisite Blood as far as a combination viable in Commander? As an overall.
With Exquisite Blood, I mean, like using Grim Tutor just got reprinted, so you could cheat it out that way, or put in all the tutors, Demonic and Diabolic Tutor. I think Demonic Tutor is a 2 mana cost. I think Diabolic's like a 3 or 4 mana drop. Like you could probably get those out pretty quick. I don't know though. I'm not really into like competitive EDH all that much. I'm not really too worried about getting it all fast out. I like the camaraderie. I like to politic a little bit.
Of course you do. So
I mean,
did you guys actually get to see, like, other than, have you seen or looked at anybody else that's playing that combo as far as like standard goes?
Not other than you.
Just me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, my play groups usually does like EDH, like, so they don't have any modern decks.
Gotcha.
They usually, yeah. That's why I feel like my expertise is more on like the commander side of things. I feel like you're more like the standard guy.
I gotcha. Yeah. So basically, the way that I'm running it to get it to do the 6 turns is, I am tutoring out both of those, the Exquisite Blood and the Vito. And then, if I have, otherwise it's a lot of card draw or flip around, just like real quick life gain, life loss on my end.
Right on.
So either way, it's either going to go uphill or downhill. And like I said, it's usually averaging that I end up with it in about 6 turns, because a place that's 4, I live by the rule of 3, but with Vito and Exquisite Blood, I definitely run the whole 4.
Right.
So
increase your chances of getting it out. Like, especially if you can get it out in like 10 cards, then you're golden.
So
that'd be like 3 turns.
So you're going to take me on with your Chandra deck later, right?
Yep. I am very interested in doing that.
So explain that one real quick so people can actually hear.
My Chandra deck?
Go ahead, yeah.
Is that... I don't know if that one is 3 fucking Chandras. The one I built in real life is 5 fucking Chandras. But basically, I get Chandras... what was it? Is it Awakened Inferno? I have 4 of those in it. And that one builds that emblem that comes up, and then you use... Because I also got 4 Chandra's Regulators in it.
Right.
Just try to get her out. So if I can get her out, if I can also use like direct damage, like what was it? What's the one? I always cast it for the spectacle cost. Deals 3 damage to any target. There's so many cards in red that deal 3 damage to any target.
Right.
So, but basically, as long as if I can manage your board state, not so much yours, but my opponent's board state up until I can get a hold of the Chandra that I, want. Depends on, because I also have Torch of Defiance in there too, and then what else do I got? Chandra Nalar, and then in the paper version, I also added Chandra Ablaze, and then another one for the mana, because one also produces. I think it's Torch of Defiance is the one that I added in the paper format, because her +1 or +2 is like add 2 red mana. Right, so it's like, why not try to ramp? Especially when I think she only costs like 2 colors and 2 red. So it's like, why not?
Gotcha.
But yeah, the emblems, producing the emblems is the idea, and then doubling it up with the regulators. Regulators. I don't know.
All right. So next time that we get one of these episodes produced, we are going to hopefully be talking about Ren and Siri, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that and how overrated it is.
It's not an overrated card. Just wait, because we all know that even though like I'm all grr and angry and all that, I have this affinity for cats.
Hey man, there's a lot of dogs out there too now.
Yep. Yeah, well, all hounds are now dogs. So we'll talk about that with the Ren and Siri discussion and possibly why we think that is going to be, or that's what happened. So, that being said, guys, this was Gatewatch Magic the Gathering podcast with me, Steve. We had Greg tonight, who isn't going to talk. Oh, maybe he is.
I'm sorry, I have not. I'm just used to staring intensely. My bad.
Okay. So, Greg, we had Greg tonight. Say bye.
Bye, Greg.
Haha, works for me.
Oh my goodness.
We had Brandon.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. You will probably be more or less a series regular, I do believe.
Right on.
That's probably going to be discussed in the near future. Hopefully next time we will have the other host with us. But with that being said, guys, good night.